Who's more accurate at predicting elections? Would you put your money on professional pollsters or online gamblers?
Well, recent studies, including one from the University of North Carolina, found folks making bets tend to be more accurate. And online bettors, they're throwing stacks of money at Georgia's election, particularly on who will win Georgia's Senate seat.
Ashlyn Webb takes a closer look at the growing industry around political betting. She talked to top traders and the folks behind one of the top political betting sites.
Tens of thousands of Americans are putting money where their mouth is, betting thousands on who will win elections.
But I deposit, I think, maybe $5,000. Profits are, I think, somewhere around 450K.
To have that kind of return, I mean, that's insane.
It's the kind of thing where if you're into this stuff and you're willing to follow the news and you have a decent head for numbers, you can get good at it.
Most political bettors do this as a side gig, but for Jason Pipkin, he says he's gambling full-time after leaving his job in neuroscience research. And he says he's making bets in Georgia.
Right now, I'm betting on Herschel Walker, but that's probably going to change. Could change tomorrow, could change later.
He uses one of the most popular sites to trade on here in the U.S., Predictit.org. Ethan Rosen is the site's assistant director.
It's grown enormously in popularity.
Rosen says folks are betting heavily on Georgia's races, like the governor's race, where over 400,000 shares have been traded, with Governor Brian Kemp holding a hefty lead over Democrat Stacey Abrams. And even more are betting it all on Georgia's Senate race, over 1.2 million shares traded on who will win. Democrat incumbent Senator Raphael Warnock or Republican Herschel Walker.
These are two of the more interesting races I've seen, in part because predicted traders think that there's going to be a high amount of ticket splitting, meaning people who vote for both Kemp and Warnock.
But how does it work? Well, here's the deal. Political betting runs on a prediction market. Cost of a single share changes constantly with the market by how folks are betting.
It's a market that takes in people's perceptions of the races and comes out with a price that corresponds to probability.
For example, when Pipkin and I talked, more were betting on Senator Warnock winning, with a single share in his favor costing 64 cents.
That means if you want to bet on him to win, you would pay 64 cents per share. So if you come in with 64 cents, you get one share. If he wins, that share is worth $1. If he loses, it's worth nothing. And in between now and that happening, winning or losing, you can sell that trade for a small profit or a small loss.
But especially in races like this, Pipkin and Rosen say bettors have to play their cards right by doing the research and reacting quickly to headlines. For instance, the market for Georgia's Senate race changed within hours after the report that Herschel Walker allegedly paid for his then-girlfriend's abortion.
Predicted moved 10 cents that night.
And then when his son Christian started tweeting about it, it really moved. So it went all the way to 65, 35.
Because as the information was coming in, people were making predictions on how it would impact the race in the future.
That's in part why several studies, including from the University of Iowa and University of North Carolina, have concluded that prediction markets for elections are often more accurate than polling.
So when people have skin in the game, they tend to do more research and to make more reasoned opinions.
When you have money on the line, it really sobers you up and forces you to assess the situation as rationally and as clearly as you can.
So what do you think now? Will you bet on the ballot this November? For 13 WMAZ, I'm Ashlyn Webb.
Political betting has been outlawed in the U.S. However, it's not illegal for folks to use Predictit.org.
The site secured a no-action letter from the Division of Market Oversight of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission back in 2014. However, that agency revoked the letter in August of this year, meaning Predictit could be forced to shut down by February of 2023.